Alrighty, so today we're going to be making a new bubble. One bubble to rule them all kind of thing for me. I've made a few, mostly of concrete. I've never put Orgone in them, though I've heard it's decent. That one's just drying out for today. But yeah, I got my water ready, all the other ingredients, and these are the Orgone I made. I'm going to have a total of 4 tensor rings that are wrapped in Mobius coil in the molds, in the bubble as a whole. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit all this Orgone in this pot. It's going to be a challenge, actually. But this piece is crazy. I really wish I had made videos just of making these, but oh well. This has like 2 massive neodymium plate magnets, very big, that are pressing against one another, like opposing one another, and they were hard to bring together, so I had to tie them together with a crystal in between, the Lumerian crystal. And I've got the cascading densities going through this thing, where very thick, thick at the bottom, and it thins out to a thinner piece of metal shaving material, and eventually it gets to a very thick. You can kind of see the layers, and there's a lot of crystals in there. I think that one's chrysocolla, but there's a lot of some of my favorite rocks actually that I've been saving for a long time. Got a lot of love in them. Yeah, this is a really nice piece. Very heavy, great vibe. It's working. It's going to work out nice. That's going to go on the top, sort of right here in the top of these plates. I made each one of these the other day. These have lots of shungite there in the top. They were hardening up so quickly I could hardly get the shungite in them before it hardened, but no matter. It's all going in the concrete. A lot of sand, a lot of metal shavings. Very good stuff. It's worked out really nicely. Got a few layers in there. This is going in the bottom. And then on top of that is going to go this next plate. This plate here, this one is very heavy density. They even cracked a little bit because it's just such a thick material, and I definitely wanted it to cure very hard, so I put a lot of curing agent, and it did. I've got a ton of rocks in there in between this huge tensor coil that I've got wrapped twice. So they call it, what I've heard, they're calling that the monsoon coil. This thing is super heavy, super dense. You can see the layers. It's very dense. Plenty of magnets are in all of these as well, like a lot of magnets. I put a lot of my magnets in these. I really wanted this to come out nice. So that's going on top of that plate. It's going to go first plate, concrete, this plate, concrete, that plate, concrete, that piece, and there's going to be tensor ring in there. Going to end it with that little tensor ring on the top. I'm going to try to get as many of these like gold flake and other ingredients, healing clay, charcoal powder, diatomaceous earth, excuse me. I'm going to put those cool cow horns in the top. They're going to be sticking out the top. It's going to look pretty nice. And I've been charging up some water in there for like a week in that copper pot over there. It's a copper water container. I just never drink from it. I just use it to charge up crystal water with dead sea salt in it. It's quite nice, but yeah, this is going to be a really nice one. And I'm going to put some more magnets and other things in there. Yeah, I'm going to try to record every step and see how I can do this for everybody here. Alrighty, so the first layer here I just poured. It is, obviously, it's the Portland cement. It's some play sand, diatomaceous earth, and black iron oxide. Pretty simple, basic mix. And I'm going to set this down in there. That's the first plate. Get that right on there. Alrighty, I'm going to pour a little bit more on top of that. Alrighty. So I covered up that plate with some concrete, and I've got the first tensor ring put in there. Now that plate's got tons of magnets, tons of kyanite, quartz, tons of stuff, shungite, and yeah, yep. Now I'm going to put in that next layer, black iron oxide, mix with the diatomaceous earth, the play sand, the Portland cement, just the general mix. I might put a little bit of charcoal powder in there too, actually. A little bit of carbon in between the layers. And then I'll get the next plate in there. Alrighty. Alrighty. Got that plate in there. Got a few magnets all around the outsides. There's some smaller ones. Already got a ton in here anyway, but I'm going to put some gold flake and stuff on it. Alrighty, so this is the core. Generally you put like a big cord down in the middle of a bubble, and you're going to be putting crystals around it and electrifying that. Like your powders and everything you're trying to broadcast. I put a bunch of my favorite, just a lot of crystals, like I think it's like 15 different crystals I've powdered up, as well as like my favorite supplements and other health things. And I just remembered I'm going to put some biodynamic preparations in there. I don't know if you guys know what biodynamics are, but it's like a regenerative agriculture type thing. I'm going to put horn manure, so like all these different things, the clay, all kinds of different things right there in that core. And I got my favorite butterfly that I found the other day. He was just dead, so I'm going to put him in there. I got a ton of magnets and powders on that. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I just put all these biodynamic preparations in. I get them from the company, what is it again? It's JPI, Josephine Porter Institute, Biodynamics. I'm going to put a little bit of this Mississippi water in it as well. You got like a crystal linked water where you break half of a crystal and you put it in the water where you're going, where you want it, and then you take some of the water from that place. Alrighty, and that's it all in there. That's going to be the core. It's going to broadcast. Everything in here is really going to broadcast, but this is going to do great. I'm excited. It's going to be a really good bubble. I just know it. Alrighty, here we go. Alrighty. So, I got that thick density disc in there, and I've got this one on top of it. Just barely going to be able to fit this piece, but we're gonna. I'm going to try to make another tensor ring actually real quick and put it around that. So, alrighty, I got a few tensor rings made, that little one over there, and this one here, and I just got that around it. Took me a little bit, but we're going to get back at it. Alrighty, so I got this last piece in there, and I've been filling it up around here. I'm almost done. Got one big batch to go. Alrighty, that's the bubble. I got a tensor ring in the top, a couple of my favorite old cow horns, and boy, I'm sweaty. I did that in under 2 hours, so I think I did it in an hour. I gotta clean up.